FYI.
Hey everyone, welcome to BROfessor and Friends. We are live. Welcome to the show. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I have with me some very special guests this evening, sitting in front of their new prized possession, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Oh, broke out the bro pose right off the bat. I love it. Matt and Cara, thank you for joining me.
Glad to have us.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. Y'all are with Ozark Overland Adventures, and I don't know this, and there may be a lot of people out there that don't know this. So tell us right off the bat, why did you start Ozark Overland Adventures?
Man, it started just as a YouTube, it started just as a YouTube channel to share stuff with friends and, groups and stuff that I was in. We gave it the name in 2015 because at that point it was just my name on YouTube and
Right.
It seemed kind of lame. So we gave it a name and just to give it a name, and it just started growing, and now it's a thing, and now we want to do it full time.
Now it's a household brand.
Yeah, like Crest.
Yeah, and so now we want to do it full time, and I'm ready to quit my day job and just make YouTube videos because
I understand. That's a place where a lot of us want to be, and I think you've done a great job at getting yourself out there and doing a great job with your videos. So how long have you had this going?
Well, like I said, we gave it a name in 2015, but really seriously with YouTube a year.
Yeah, probably. We've
About
been
a
married
year?
for 2 years, so
Yeah, we started getting serious about this time last year. Last year's bonfire run is when we started getting serious and thinking, I started really trying to nail down like the video editing and the the quality of the videos and stuff, and started branching out, not just doing trip stuff, but the Gaia tutorials and other how-to type things that people really like, and then product reviews and that sort of thing. So it's just it's really taken off in the last year.
yeah.
It's really taken off, and you've really branched out, doing a whole lot of different things. I know you started out doing a lot of your trip videos, and now you're doing a whole lot of gear reviews and different things like that, which are pretty cool. And I think getting the most views
more than anything.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. It's COVID helped when we were all locked in and didn't have anything else to do. I did a rear seat delete on my rig and did a whole bunch of other stuff, cleaned out the garage, and I was like, man, I need something to do. And then I looked out there and I thought, I got plenty to do.
Yeah.
And so I know you started really cranking out the videos on the gear reviews and stuff like that. So that was kind of a, I don't know, good thing and a bad thing all at once, but this ended up helping you.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. I know you enjoy getting out and wheeling. You're more of a wheeling guy than I am. You push yourself a whole lot further to the limit than I do. But how hard is it for you to work in the videos? Does that really inhibit some of your enjoyment for your wheeling, or is it more like more work, or do you really enjoy that part of it too?
No, I love that part of it. That's part of that's part of the fun for me. Because when I get back home and I'm going through the videos and I'm creating the actual video and then telling the story, I get to relive it all over again.
Right.
And, I joke in my videos as I'm maybe showing me running to get a camera or something, that this is how I get most of my exercise. But I just really enjoy it. Thinking, I've always been a creative person. I have a little bit of a design and video production background from when I was working in churches, and it's just the natural progression of that for me. And I love the creative side of it. I love trying to think through different camera angles and new ways I can use the drone and that sort of stuff. And so it's a lot of fun. Cara just got a 360 camera.
Yeah.
Oh, those are so cool.
Started incorporating into our videos. And it's just so cool.
Yeah, we look sometimes we review, we do a lot of research on YouTube, as far as techniques, flying, cinematography, that kind of stuff. But we basically let the trip tell the story itself. We don't go out with the intention of this is how we're going to film it and this is how it's not staged.
Nothing scripted at all.
Yeah, we just kind of let it roll.
Yeah, we intentionally had Nathan's truck break down on the bonfire run.
We scheduled the towing trucks to come twice. No.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so the story just kind of unfolds and then we tell it when we get home.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, we just got back from the Big Iron Overland Rally. Really had a great time there. I want to give Chris some props for putting on a great event. Had a great time. I came over and visited y'all at camp, and as a result, I just spent $350 on a hot water heater today. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. But I wouldn't have bought it if you hadn't recommended it. So,
so cool.
Here's to you for that. And it is so cool. Thank you for taking time and showing me how it works. And so now I don't have to look up a YouTube video to see how it works.
That is one of my coolest pieces of gear.
Yeah.
And what's funny too is I had never seen it on one of your videos. And as soon as I get home, it pops up and I watch one of your videos and there it is. And I'm like, out of all the videos you've done, it's just like the Lord speaking to me. You have to get this. And so, I took that at it and I spent the money and I don't have any regrets or feel like it was a sin at all.
It's Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, well, definitely. Well, we want to talk about your big change that's come into Ozark Overland Adventures, and we're going to take a little walk down memory lane. But before we do that, let's pause for station identification.
Hey guys, it's Porker from Autotronics in West Virginia.
I'm Aaron with Switchback Outdoor Safety. Frankie from Overland Rentals.
And I'm Chris with the Rover.
Adam at Step 22 Gear.
It's Chris from More Expo.
I'm Bruiser.
I'm Chef West.
Hi, this is Jeff from Rover.
Jordan from Untitled Overland.
Hey, we're Jessica and Jorge.
Live, Work, Wander. And you're watching BROfessor.
BROfessor.
You're watching BROfessor and Friends.
And you are watching BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends. BROfessor and Friends. Can you get Jessica this shot?
Haha, we need to get y'all in one of those. That's
awesome.
That's pretty fun doing that. It was so hard to get people at Big Iron to do that because the band was moved up beside us, and every time I wanted to video somebody, I couldn't hear anything. All I could hear was some kind of mandolin or banjo or trombone or something. So it was kind of a chore, but we worked some in. It was.
I hated that they moved the band because we were right in front of them.
It's prime spot.
And
the weather ended up being perfect. And yeah, I know it was a last minute decision. Do what?
If they would have moved back, it would have started raining again. So.
You're right. And Chris was right. They had cover, but it was about 40 foot up in the air, and they were getting soaked, and I wouldn't want that. So I have a high dollar instrument myself, and I definitely wouldn't want to get it wet. But anyway, what we want to talk about, we want to walk down a little memory lane and talk about your first Jeep or the Jeep that you had last, and it had a name. You loved it so much it had a name. What was the name?
The same as Knuckles.
Knuckles. Okay, here's Knuckles straight off the lot.
That was the day I got it.
Little baby.
That was the day I got it.
Does this picture bring back some memories there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my first Jeep was actually in the shop. It was my silver JKU. It was a 2008 JKU Sahara, and it was in the shop for some engine work.
It looks like a bug with those lights on there.
It does. I hated those lights. And it was one of those things. I was just walking the lot while they were working on my Jeep, and I saw that one, and it was just so clean. And so I started talking to the salesman. It was a 2012.
Start out, babe.
I know. It was a 2012 with only 15,000 miles on it. And it was a Rubicon. It had a new 3.6 liter engine in it. And one of those things just like, let's talk and see if this could work. And it did. And I got it. So
yeah, that's so cool. It doesn't even look like the same thing, because we can fast forward a little bit and see that there was quite a bit of difference in that picture in this one.
And funny, and with the exception of the light bar on that transformation happened over the next weekend. I picked it up on a Wednesday, and they let me keep both Jeeps over the weekend. And we went to a friend of mine's house in Bologna who had a big shop and air tools and
complete swap.
And we stripped both Jeeps down to the axles, ripped all the lighting and wiring and stuff off my old Jeep, the bumpers, everything, and returned my old Jeep to stock and put all those parts on that one. So Knuckles only stayed stock for 4 days.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, you're known for that. You don't waste any time and changing things up a little bit. You're one of those guys that stock is not really in your blood. So you're bothered by it, and you can't sleep at night, and you really have to do something about it quick. And so let's go through memory lane. Let's look at some of the places that Knuckles was actually able to go. Knuckles had happy feet. Knuckles wanted to go, and so Knuckles didn't sit at home very much.
Knuckles never let me down.
Never let you down. Always pushed her right to the edge, just like our first photo.
Yeah, top of the world.
Top of the world.
Yeah,
Fun
top of the
fact,
world in Moab.
I do not like that trail.
No, Cara hates that trail.
That's my worst trail of Moab. It's a beautiful at the top. It's you got to go there once. But it is straight.
And we've been there twice.
Just so bumpy. It is just
that was our very first trip to Moab, and we wanted to do top of the world and get the iconic photo, and it was a whole lot of fun.
It was super windy. That was actually probably a drone shot, and the drone was so shaking because right after you go over that ledge, the wind current is like rushing through that valley there. I actually lost the lens cap somewhere down below, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
There's probably quite a few things laying down at the bottom of this ridge.
There probably is.
But nobody dares to try and get them. I guarantee you that. This is definitely one of the most iconic trails that you hear about in Moab. And not a lot of people get this shot because not a lot of people are brave enough to do that trail. But I tell you, when you do, that is an epic shot.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of heights, and I have never had any type of, a vertigo looking down over the edge. But that is so steep, and it is so deep down there. The first time I stepped up to the edge and looked over, I had to catch my breath for a minute and kind of take a step back because that was just incredible.
And he's like standing out in front. I actually drove the Jeep up to the edge. He's standing out in the front, motioned me on, like, you still have 5 feet to go. Well, when you're looking out your windows in the driver and passenger side, you can only see what's below you because the way that rock is angled.
Yeah,
and so I was like,
I kept going,
come
closer, because I wanted her to get right on the edge. And she's like, nope, not going.
That's cool. Well, this is another place. Looks like you and Nathan pulled up to a pretty iconic place here.
That's on Imogene. That's on Imogene Pass in Colorado. That's one of the other overlooks that a lot of people skip. The main overlook on Imogene was crowded, as it tends to be. So we went down to that one, and there was nobody else there.
And I love those red mountains.
Yeah, you get a great view of the Red Mountains there to the east. And of course, Nathan and I have been all over so many places together. And so I think, did Nathan take that photo or did you take a photo? I don't remember.
No, Nathan took
that photo.
He was on top of the hill, I believe, taking everybody's photos because they were all so posing. And there's like a rock that it's looking down from that angle. So people were kind of posing on that overlook there.
Yeah. So that was last year's Colorado trip. Me and Nathan, and there was a total of 7 of us or 8 of us on that trip. So
Yeah, that was. I remember I was heading home and y'all were heading out, and we passed you and talked on the radio for a minute.
Yeah,
And
you were
we
coming
had just.
from,
I think we had just left
you did in
Chapulin Volcano, and we were somewhere in New Mexico or Colorado. I don't even remember where we were. There was nothing. I know where we were. But we passed y'all, got to talk on the radio for a minute, and I was jealous because I really didn't want to go home.
I don't know why you did. You get all that time off during the summer.
Yeah, no kidding. This looks like Arkansas.
That is Frog Bayou.
Yeah.
That was our March. We did that run in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Frog Bayou up in the Boston Mountain Ranger district north of White Rock Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fun trail. I love that trail.
Look at all the badges. So
yeah, the badges.
you can buy Knuckles here in Conway, and the badges are still on it with the decals.
Yep.
Well, if
You
want people to think you've done something, go buy Knuckles with all the badges on there, and you can tell everybody your stories of how you did all the things. Now, what badges are you lacking?
Well, those are the 3. The
Arkansas.
3 on the left are Arkansas. So that all the 3 at Hot Springs Off-Road Park. The ones in the middle are Colorado, and we had all the badges in Colorado except for Holy Cross.
And we didn't do the one. There's one in Colorado we didn't do that. We got to it and we realized that we weren't able to do it, and we turned around. What was that?
No.
Yes, it was very technical.
No, that's Holy Cross. We never went there.
Oh, I think there's another one. But okay.
I don't know.
We won't argue on live radio.
Yeah.
You just did.
Because that's Engineer Pass. It's Black Bear. It's we did Poison Spider.
Okay.
We did Poughkeepsie.
Mm-hmm. Poughkeepsie Gulch is the one that most people get all the dents and dings and turnover and all that stuff on. So
That's the wall.
Yeah.
Hit the wall.
We conquered that last year.
And then that's
cool.
A lot of the Moab ones.
I don't even know where that is. Some
That
road in the Ozarks.
That's pulling out of camp right before Nathan's truck broke down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was this last trip.
Okay. Now this one, that's a pretty interesting spot.
You know that spot, don't you?
I think I've been there. Yeah.
Have you done that spot?
I don't think so.
No, I've actually spotted 2 FJs through that, so it can make it.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
On last year's rendezvous, we spotted. We were leading a trail run, and 2 years ago rendezvous, we were leading a trail run, and we spotted 2 FJs through that. But yeah, that's the famous washout section on the trail up to Flag Gap.
Yeah,
that's where he busted his window out.
Yeah, that's where I busted my window out going the opposite direction.
Going up the hill.
Yep, slid into
Okay.
it and it busted the rear.
Yeah, this is that was right before Grant from Arkansas Off-Road took the bypass because he didn't. I just want to point that out.
Busted.
Sorry about that, Grant.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I don't even know the name of that trail. It didn't have a name.
Unknown.
It's
the Unknown Trail.
It's on the west side.
It's a good shot of the rear end coming out of the giant mud puddle there.
That license plate is being replaced because I do not like mud. I am not in search of mud anymore.
Found it.
Found it. Don't like it. Don't like to clean it. But it's necessary. It's just a necessary evil in the Ozarks. So, and I'm like you said, I'm not one to take bypasses.
Right.
So gonna at least try to conquer it. And
yeah.
And shout out to Nathan Anderson Photography.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on that, Nathan. Of course, you think they're great pictures because you took them. No, I have to give Nathan some credit. He has taken some amazing pictures, and I just Chris Holloway sent me all the pictures that Nathan took this past weekend. They are amazing.
Yeah.
He only had to make 1,000 photos.
Yeah, I imagine that. Well, every time I turned around, he was taking a picture of something. He really worked hard doing that and trying to keep his batteries charged and all the photos uploaded. He worked pretty hard. So
yeah, luckily
kudos to him.
Luckily, he and Cara used the same camera, so
there's
if a battery died, he was able to borrow a battery.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was our 3rd trip to Colorado. that was the year we had gone the year before and took Knuckles, and Cara when Cara and I met, she had a 2-door JK, and then she sold it because we would always take mine out because it was a Rubicon, and so she sold it and got a sensible Jeep Renegade for for street use and better miles per gallon, and then came back home from that next Colorado trip. And we were just overwhelmed. All the trails, and she said, "I gotta have a JK again." And so, as soon as we get back home, she bought that anvil colored 2015 JKU Sahara.
It was stocked for about a month. Built
it up almost immediately, like we tend to do. And the next year, we drove both Jeeps out to Colorado and Moab. And
its name was actually Imogene. And honestly, I didn't like taking both Jeeps because that's a week worth of vacation where we're not really together. We're driving separate vehicles. So that was kind of, I don't know, it just didn't feel like vacation for us.
It was fun, but we were separated a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was wheeling together.
Yeah.
And not just both of us being passengers.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Same Moab. Trip and Moab. That's Elephant Hill Trail and Canyonlands National Park.
Elephant Hill.
Oh yeah. That's my favorite trail in Moab. For sure.
He didn't want to do that trail, but I begged him because it's like 2 hours outside of Moab. You have to go to Canyonlands and get into that. It's a complete whole day.
It's a 2-hour one-way trip to get there. And so 4 hours round trip to hit that trail. But it is a badge of honor trail. And we did it and
check.
It is my favorite trail in Moab. Definitely.
So tell us why is it your favorite trail?
So you do the trail backwards in a section. Let me tell you, I love this trail because it was my favorite. So you do the trail backwards. You have to reverse down a ledge. That's the only way you can get down it. And then there's one iconic picture where you are basically surrounded by walls, like built-in walls on both sides. It's very narrow. And just anything much, almost touches the mirrors on each side of your Jeep. And is it the needles that they call those?
It's the Eye of the Needle District.
Yeah, but the needles are the actual rock formations.
Yeah, they call them the needles.
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
Yeah, there's just a lot of great technical sections there. There's beautiful scenery there. There's fast dirt sections there that you can zoom 40-50 miles an hour down these dirt tracks that are fun. And it's just stunning. There's great hiking there. Just a lot of variety and it's very unique.
That's cool. Very cool. Well, that was a good walk down memory lane for Knuckles. And that's just a very small part of everything you experienced in your Jeep. I know, especially with my vehicle, you develop a relationship with your vehicle.
Oh yeah,
and it's it becomes part of the family, almost like another child.
It is,
and giving it up you almost seem like you're losing part of yourself.
I did,
and so it's very hard to do, for sure. But we want to get into to what you have changed to something that you didn't really plan on this not very long ago, and so it's something completely new, something completely different. But before we get into that, I want to talk about our sponsor for the show, Artemis Overland Hardware in Springfield, Missouri. Artemis always wants you to leave it better than you found it, and the way that they say you need to do that is with the last U.S. bag. Check this out.
Are you tired of trash bags that won't last? Are you sick of having to buy a couple bags a year just to leave it better than you found it? Well, throw those suckers out and come to Artemis Overland in Springfield, Missouri and check out our new bags from Last U.S. Bag. This bag is hand sewn with quality zippers and quality materials built to last a lifetime. Easily holds a 10-gallon trash can, and you can take it out with ease without having to lift it up over your head. Put it back in, zip it back up, and you are ready to go. This bag will make you the envy of all trash picker-uppers everywhere. It'll make it easy. You can leave it better than you found it, easier than ever. And it has our logo right on it, so people know who you support and where you got your bag. Check it out, ArtemisOverland.com, or come by our store and pick up one of these bags today.
Boom. That was fun.
Got one of those bags.
I want that.
That is awesome.
They are incredible. I've got to tell you.
Trash can in there. I didn't know that
You put a 13-gallon trash can will fit perfect in there.
Do you keep one in yours?
I do. That was actually mine. I did the video with.
I reckon.
I love it because I'm a short guy, and with the trash roos, I kept a trash can in my trash roo too, but I had to pick it up over my head to clean it out and all that stuff. And this one has the zippers on it, and you just pull it right out. And it also, what I didn't show in the video is it has a cutting board in there that comes with every bag. That's big, and it's the size of the trash can. So that's a really neat addition to it. They're really well made, and it's a completely different material. It's pretty much the same material that tent covers are made with. So they're made to last. It's really cool. So I would highly recommend people check that out.
We've been using the trash roof for years, but that looks way better.
It is,
but
not even in the same ballpark.
Yeah, now we don't have a spare tire on the back of our rig, so there's that.
Yeah, we can
we can figure that
out. Speaking of your new rig,
so there's a whole lot of figuring out to do with this.
Check out the new Gladiator. It's
hydro
so blue.
Hydro blue.
So blue. Now,
look at that rainbow.
What led up to this massive decision?
Spontaneity.
I love it.
We were goofing off one Saturday.
It was Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day weekend. We were just goofing off. It was a beautiful Saturday, and we, in 4 years we plan on doing this full time, hitting the road, traveling everywhere, making YouTube videos, and just exploring the world, or at least the U.S. And we've talked about maybe getting an RV or getting like a 4-wheel drive Sprinter van as kind of a base camp and pull the Jeep behind it. And I just said, hey, we were just out driving around. We had nowhere to go. We were just driving because it was such a beautiful day. And so let's go to Moik's RV and let's go look at the RVs because I've never been in one before. And just to go check them out and have fun. And while we were there,
on the way there, I mentioned, because I was just throwing out, we can go look at the RVs, the vans, and then I was like, or we could look at a Gladiator and add an alley cab later. And I guess that planted a seed.
Yeah, and then we were done with Moik's. We were driving back home. I immediately took a left to Superior, and she said, "What are we doing?" I said, "Let's go test drive a Gladiator. I've heard they drive amazing, and let's just go see what they're like."
So they had a bunch of Mojave ones.
Yeah, we did. We test drove 2. We test drove a Mojave that was lifted and looked nice, and it drove great. And then they had that one blue Rubicon on the lot, and that one right there. And we test drove it, and it was great, and it was stock. And
we went and got.
We had zero intentions of buying anything because at that point I was dead set on driving Knuckles till the wheels fell off and fixing it as needed because it was almost paid off. And I was like, I've never not had a car payment and thought that would be an amazing life. And that
we went,
Gladiator just drove so good.
Yeah. And actually, so here's a funny story. So test driving this Gladiator, this poor salesman that was sitting in the back, I was up front. And so Matt goes over to this place in the industrial park. Yeah, in the industrial park that has like a loading dock thing that's a ramp, basically. And he decides, I'm going to try to disengage the lockers and everything else with this little salesman dude to the back and see what kind of flex I can get on this, like on the test drive.
Yeah, he said, freaking out.
He said, I'm a little nervous right now.
Yeah, I was testing the flex on this loading ramp, and I was going to keep going higher. But
I think
Cara said, you're freaking him out. Let's go.
We went and got snow cones, and then we were like, why don't we just see how much he would give us for trade-in?
See what the trade-in value for Knuckles would be. And I didn't, I mean, it was, the outside was cleaned up as good as I cleaned up.
If you knew his scratches, you know that was a hard.
The inside still had mud in the floorboards from our previous trip to the Ozarks from the bonfire weekend. And So it wasn't clean at all. We thought, let's just go see. And they made us an okay offer that,
I think he had a little bit more of emotions tied to his vehicle because it was a pretty good offer for the type of condition it was in.
Yeah. And so we got that trade-in value, and then Sunday we crunched some numbers
after
just to
not sleeping all night.
Didn't sleep that night, thinking of the what ifs.
He was already building it Saturday night. Let's just go there.
I was thinking of the possibility, and of course building it on the YouTube channel and thinking about potential YouTube content with it. And then we called him Monday and said, all right, let's run the credit and
see what we can
picked it up Monday afternoon.
Well, here we are.
That's incredible.
Had a little bit of a tear, got a little choked up driving it on the way to the dealership, but
that quickly faded because it died 4 times on the way there.
It died on me 4 times. We were gonna have to take it in for engine work while we were in Utah anyway. But it every time we come to a stop, it'd die.
It was time.
Yeah, but we're really happy now.
Well, I guess his first trip was to see Brutus. Drove out to Kansas to see Brutus.
Yeah, and I drove it to Brutus because we were getting the stickers put on the side. But I just want to take a second, and you can take that picture down, and tell Chris Holloway and everybody else, thank you for Brutus, because I don't think he's gotten enough recognition for all the work that has been put into that. It was just super chill and family friendly, and we've had so many people come up to us.
We get to meet so many
and
cool
was
people.
Encouraged by it because it's kind of hard sometimes. You don't know if you're making good content for people, and they were just super thankful. It was very encouraging. So I just want to take a moment there.
Yeah,
it really was. And I saw a picture y'all posted with another family that y'all got to meet. That you.
The ones that
no, that's a different family.
Oh, that was a different family?
Yeah, different family.
Oh, okay.
There was another family that was camping right next to us, the Katie and Alex Feck, and they had never even heard of our channel. And someone came up to them and was just like, hey, do you know that you're camping next to, and then was telling them like what all we do. Well, they ended up, we put, in the raffle where they raised over $4,000 to repaint Brutus. We offered a trip through the Ozarks with Matt, and they were the one that purchased it. And so it was just so cool to, I don't know, we were all there as one big family learning, and just can't say that.
That was really cool of you to do that, Matt. I know your time is valuable, but they paid a lot.
They did. I was shocked.
I was like, I was doing something and I heard what that went for, and I was like, wow, that's awesome.
And they
cool.
hadn't even watched a video on our channel.
They have no clue what they got into.
They didn't know how famous you were, how famous Cara is. Cara had come over and swapped some of my boudin, and we were standing there talking. By the way, my boudin was amazing. Just telling you that. But some people walked up and wanted to take a picture with Cara, and she said, well, let me go get Matt. And they said, forget Matt. We just want a picture with you.
I think they said sucks.
Yeah, they did.
Matt sucks, yeah.
I went over. I immediately walked back over to Matt, and I was almost crying. And I was just like, they wanted it with me. I was like, I feel like Brittany off of Light Bright. I know I look like her too.
Well, that was a fun moment. Probably will never happen again, but it was a fun moment.
I will cherish it forever.
Oh, that was super fun. Super fun. Well, tell me about your new rig. Have you got a name for it yet?
Yes, its name is Sully, after the big blue and purple monster on Monsters Inc.
Because Matt brings the purple. He always has purple in his hair, and sometimes he has blue even.
And Cara came up with the name because I was like, the name will come. But then she thought of Sully. She loves Monsters Inc. and we want it to be, it's blue, and we wanted it to be big and, mean, but also nice like Sully is. And
it's kind of funny. One of our friends today actually asked if my Trailhawk is going to be named Boo, which is the little girl in Monsters Inc.
Uh-oh.
Are we in a tornado warning, Joey? That is the sirens.
That is the tornado.
There's the sirens.
We interrupt your broadcast for an emergency.
We interrupt your broadcast for this.
I Let me check the radar real quick. And
Yeah,
see
let's check the radar here on our live feed here. Oh yeah, looks like we're
It's just north of us. We're good.
all
That's
right.
okay. We can continue this because you know what we would just be doing? We'd be going outside trying to look for it.
Yeah.
We're here. It's
Isn't
fine.
that something? Well, this is a first here on BROfessor and Friends. You know, and if the screen goes black, pray for us because there's no telling what's going to happen.
I hope it's not too
Well,
loud.
we can talk about and you're in your garage with the door open.
We are.
Can't see anything. We're good. We're good.
Okay, well, just look to your left and tell me if you see anything in a funnel shape coming because we live pretty close to each other.
If you start hail coming in and the wind,
Yeah.
and everything.
We could talk about things outside for a long time, but I want to talk about the inside of this thing. That is incredible.
That's
It's beautiful. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, what am I and I have mixed feelings about all that because I love some of it and I hate some of it. Because I was dead set on never owning a JL, which is the Wrangler now, that looks identical to that, just because of all the tech and all the electronics that I don't like. That's one thing I loved about the JK platform is it didn't have all that. It had what I thought was enough electronics, but not that much. But I got to tell you, that has a lot of features that Cara has in her Grand Cherokee.
CarPlay.
And it's got CarPlay. I had heated seats and knuckles, but this has a heated steering wheel. And I thought that was dumb until I spent wintertime in her Trailhawk, and that was actually kind of nice.
Which heater will be nice, period, because he didn't have heat and knuckles. His heated one out.
The heater and knuckles wasn't great. But it's got off-road pages, so you can see what pitch and angle and stuff you're at, and all those cool things. But there's definitely some things that annoy the crap out of me about it.
Yeah. If you have the door open, you can't do anything.
You can't move. And if you are moving and you open the door, it will stop you.
Yeah.
Until you close your door.
Yeah, it puts it in neutral until it gets to below a certain speed, and then it completely puts it in park again. So,
and I do not need that kind of nanny for my vehicle.
You're going to be in some gigantic mud hole one day, and your door's going to come open, and it's just going to die. And
I went in my first Jeep. I went wheeling in the Ozarks when it was stock with the doors off. And
we don't even know if you can do the doors off. That's still.
Oh yeah.
And went wheeling in the Ozarks with the doors off, and hit in what I thought was an unassuming mud hole, and went deeper than my door sills. Muddy water started pouring in the interior.
So many people thought that was staged.
It was that was my first Jeep.
Okay.
Not that day.
Not that one.
This was 8-9 years ago. When my first Jeep was stock. But I learned that day where the drain plugs were and have not wheeled with the doors off since. I wheel with the top off, but not with the doors off.
Yeah.
And it's also not comfortable to, the tight trails that we have in the Ozarks to get whacked in the arm by, little tree branches and stuff.
Yeah, true.
That's not fun.
Very true.
So no more doors off wheeling.
Yeah.
Totally understand that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really impressed by this interior on this thing.
All the
It's
panels on the back are super cool. The quilting on those leather seats I had never seen that in any Jeep before, and it's just gorgeous.
And the kids are super pumped about having vents in the back
because
you don't have vents in the back on a KU, and so it gets pretty toasty back there.
Yeah, they're crazy excited about that.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, I know you've been hard at work today. Those that follow you saw you were out there, the barefooted Baron out there turning wrenches today.
Yeah,
tell us what you were doing.
Well, it's been a busy week, and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah, last night we started immediately after coming back from Big Brutus. Like I took the wings off the front.
Yep. Yesterday was.
Snorkel.
Well, that was last night.
Yeah.
Yesterday was installing the switch panel and the lights control system and everything. The bed does not have any power run to the bed from the factory, so I bought a switch panel that has a 12-volt outlet and USB ports and 4 switches, and cut a nice hole in the bed and installed that yesterday. And then UPS arrived, bringing lift and snorkel. And so actually got the snorkel on last night.
Which you didn't like. You're still you were on the fence about the snorkel because it's not, you have to take a piece of the interior side out to change the battery. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we're going to keep the snorkel, but I'm not real crazy about some of it. And then today was lift. And I really thought today would just be, I thought today was going to be snorkel day and like get maybe the front part of the lift on. And then tomorrow I would finish it up. But our good friend Ben, who, is just the greatest guy in the world, he came up last night and spent the night with us. And so we got up bright and early this morning and got to work on the lift. And we had that front and rear done by 2:30 this afternoon. And that was with me actually still working during the day and running inside and responding to customers' needs and attending a couple meetings and that sort of thing.
Yeah, because he still has a full-time job on top of all this.
Yeah.
Right.
And that included replacing all the control arms. So we got it done. We got it done fast.
So tell us the difference in height you were telling me about earlier.
Total, we put a 3-inch lift on it. It actually lifted it in the front 4.5 inches, which is not uncommon. And we expect that to settle, after the springs kind of settle a little bit. That's normal. And then we went and put 37-inch tires on it as soon as Cara got off work. And in total, it has lifted the Jeep 6 inches and completely transformed the way it looks.
Yeah, here's a before and after.
There's the day we got it, and there's today. That's
notice the arm placement. It's like way up there.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's not. It don't even look like the same vehicle to me personally.
This is my first time to have aftermarket wheels. I've always just ran the stock wheels, and think what are they, Vision X?
Yes. Those are the Vision
X.
The Makes.
Vision Makes.
Yeah, Vision Makes. Yeah.
Vision Makes wheels, and love those. I love how black they are with the tires.
We went with the Patagonias.
Yep, got the Milestar Patagonias again. It's my second time to run them. It's actually the only tire that I've purchased twice.
Yeah. And this is actually his first new vehicle in almost 50 years. He's never owned a new vehicle.
Nope, always been used.
So
that's cool. Well, tell me, I know, like we discussed earlier, how hard you like to push your vehicles. What's it going to take for the new to wear off for you to go where you want to go?
Saturday.
So I knew it. I knew it wouldn't be long. I knew it wouldn't take anything.
I looked up today how much ceramic coating costs because it's so pretty.
It is pretty. I know they make a lot of different things to cover stripes, but some guys don't love stripes and are quick to receive them. And so I don't look.
Cara's nervous about the first pinstripe, and she was actually kind of serious but joking at Big Iron, saying, maybe if I just take a key to it down the side myself, I can get over it. And I said, go for it. I don't care.
He handed me the keys.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
do it.
I don't think I could do it.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I made her a promise that, we came to an agreement.
Because this is ours.
We came to an agreement that I am going to wheel it every bit as hard as I did Knuckles. I'm not going to back down, but I'm going to be more careful when I'm going through tight trails and try to not, with Knuckles, I didn't give a rip. I just, because it already scratched up. Now I might do some trail maintenance.
Buffing. We're going to probably invest in a buffer.
I might do some trail maintenance and, maybe trim the trail a little bit if it's that bad. Turning around though. I don't turn around. And then when we get home, I promised her that it will be cleaned much better than Knuckles was to do my best. And if it requires some waxing and some buffing, I can do that.
Well, you did. Cara mentioned earlier about an Alucab topper, so I know y'all plan to keep this a while. This may be a future vehicle for you, so maintaining it, I know, will be a high priority for you. as it is us, with our two FJs. One is for now and one's for later. So, and I'm like you. I absolutely love my FJ. But when I get in Connie's, that's 4 years newer and only got 20,000 miles, and mine's pushing 200,000 miles. I get in there, it's the same vehicle, set up the same way, and I'm like, this drives so good. It's not even close. I mean, it's like driving a new Cadillac. It's not even the same. Yeah. And so I know you're feeling when you got in that and you drove it, and all of a sudden you just get the cold sweats, and you're feeling, man, this is so nice. Yeah. Do I want to pull the trigger? And that's really cool that you actually pulled the trigger on that.
Well, and that was another thing. We're thinking 4 years from now, hitting the road full time. And, in 4 years, this will be almost paid off. And so it puts this.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. And that was a good timing.
Yeah.
Trigger.
There was rebates on Jeep. And hey to everybody that said, hey, I know Arla and everybody. Hey. But yeah, there's rebates on Jeep, and that's unheard of. Jeep never offers rebates. Like, they're full cost, all of too much. And so
so it was just a good time. So
that's cool.
Yeah, bought it thinking ahead for the future, and the impact on the YouTube channel was certainly, I considered it an investment in the channel to get that, because no one, with the exception of one guy in Canada, Sean with the Story Till Now, no one's making content around gladiators.
Right.
Especially not, no one else is doing overlanding stuff. Sean is more, day trips, off-road stuff. He didn't show, camping out of them or anything like that. Brad with Trail Recon, he had a Gladiator for a little while, but then sold it and got the Power Wagon, so he's not doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
Overland, they sold theirs.
Yeah. So no one's making content, like overlanding content with a Gladiator, and
it's really dark outside.
Yeah. I think the cloud's getting closer. So are you going to pull the trailer with this? Obviously, how different do you expect this to drive on the trails than you did your JKU?
I'm going to have to relearn to drive, because it's a whole lot longer than my JK.
Yeah.
It's a lot longer. And
we're going to follow Nathan. That's what we're going to do.
Learning from Nathan and Matthew Wicker in his Tacoma. But definitely going to have to relearn how to do it. And I told Cara, one of these days, this summer, maybe before or after Utah, I want to take it to the off-road park and there at Hot Springs, because that is a great place to learn your rig.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Used to both wheel there all the time, and Knuckles and her first Jeep. And so we know the trails there. While we're there, go ahead and get the 3 badges that are there, of course.
Yeah, true.
He knows, whenever you, like you said earlier, whenever you have driven a vehicle, you know where it's turning, where its tires are going to land, the seat cushion fits to your butt. Like, it's just very, your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a whole new game for us, because it's got a 5-inch. And actually, I had to tell Matt to turn on the signal things whenever you turn. I was like, make sure that sound goes off, because he's used to like having that shorter wheelbase. And like, you're not thinking you have a bed back there, and you're going to just knock somebody out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew, like you said, Knuckles and I knew every inch of it. I had worked on it for almost 6 years. I knew how it drove. I knew how to handle obstacles. I knew if I made a turn, I knew where every tire was going to go. I knew in the Ozarks how close I could get to a tree without actually hitting it and making a tight turn.
Yeah.
And I got to relearn the vehicle.
You have to relearn.
Wheelbase is a big deal. Wheelbase is a big deal. You go from driving a Tacoma to driving a full size truck, you'll find that out. It's a big deal, especially going around tight turves, getting in between trees or things like that. It's a big deal. And I don't know if the width is any different, but you got to know where the ruts are. You got to know your vehicle.
Yeah, the JL Gladiator platform is about 2 inches wider than my JK was. So very similar. Being in the driver's seat of this feels very much at home. It
That's
feels
good.
very much like a Jeep, and I'm very, very comfortable with it. The seating position, everything is very familiar still, but I know there's just going to be little nuances, and especially with that back end. It's
for sure.
Well,
tell us what Ozark Overland Adventures has coming up. I noticed earlier that you had put out a subscriber base camp. This is new. I also noticed that it sold out in, no time.
Not sold.
So
it's in the National Forest, and we, it's
for free.
It's totally free for them. But yeah, we wanted to do something. We get people, that message us all the time. Hey, we'd love to come wheel with you guys. Coming down and someone, this week, any chance we could get, and random people, just from the YouTube and Instagram and whatnot. And so I think it was actually Cara's idea to have a weekend where we just invite people to come and hang out, and we're going to wheel. But it's totally free because it's in the Ozarks.
We did have a sign up because we didn't want to have a lot of people.
Yeah. We did limit it to 15 people. And just because I know there's a couple campsites I know that will be able to hold us, no problem. And then we're just gonna, set up base camp for the weekend there in the Ozarks, and we'll take little short trips out Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday morning to wheel some short trails, and then come back to camp and hang out and
get to know everybody,
get to know people, and thought it would be a lot of fun to do that. And we've got, Nathan was going to come, but then his truck messed up. But we've got Robert and John and James are coming, and, Taylor's coming. And so they're going to be there to help support and help take. Good. We're not going to take all 15 people on one trip out. We're going to split people up into 3 groups of 5. So we're taking shorter rig amounts.
Right.
Out, and we'll each go split off and go 3 different directions in the area, and then come back after a couple hours and
swap out,
rotate, and do it cool that afternoon. And I think it'll be a whole lot of fun.
Great idea. That's a super good idea. I think people are really wanting that, and I think you could see that from the amount of interest that you got before you put out there.
Yeah, the sign up list filled up that day.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
And yes, Connie, yes, we need a girls one.
You and Connie and Mariah and
even Betsy and
Betsy, and if Brandon will let Haven drive the truck by herself.
Well, she's almost having a baby, so there's that.
Yeah. Y'all need to have a girl. Yeah. That's I wouldn't to do stuff. So
I love Haven, but I would not go out in the woods with her right now for no amount of money. That's not something I want to do. So anyway, what about summer plans? You have plans for the summer? Go out west or somewhere?
In 3 weeks, we will be in Utah. Wow. We've got 10 days planned for Utah, and right now, unless she changes her mind, this whole Utah trip was designed around her Grand Cherokee Trailhawk. Right now, Sully's not going. We're taking the Grand Cherokee, and this is all scenic stuff because, like the badges, we've been to Moab, we've conquered the technical stuff in our JKs, and this year we want to be about scenery and photography and video, and so it's all scenic that her Trailhawk will handle no problem. So we're starting in Montrose, Colorado, and then running the Rim Rocker Trail. Take us about 2 nights, 3 days into Moab. We'll base camp around Moab for about 3 days and run some trails around there. And then we will take White Rim Trail through Canyonlands, which will take us about 3 days. And
that's on my list.
Then
I really want to do that.
On the flip side, Sully doesn't have any badges.
I am still going, let's take the Trailhawk. And
I know, but
you're going to be the one that says take Sully.
I have said that we could take Sully if I drove all the trails.
Well, ain't happening.
So
I don't even care about taking Sully.
But if I take Sully and I drive all the trails,
then you're not driving all the trails.
y'all got some talking to do. It seems like y'all got some talking to do.
We need a mediator. Is what
well. I'll be over there in a minute. I know I'm gonna have to come over there, like Nathan said, and close your garage door anyway before you go to bed.
Clouds. Where's the clouds? Right there. The clouds have gotten darker as this whole little
Well, we probably need to wrap this up before we get blown away. So far, just to let everybody know, we have survived the tornado.
We're real overlanders.
I've been monitoring the weather, and it looks like it's going to go north of us like it always does. It either hits Greenbrier or it hits Valonia. We're in a great spot.
Yeah.
So anyway,
port protection plan.
Yeah. But I just want to encourage everybody to get out there, look up OzarkOverlandAdventures.com, like it says on the screen. Follow them on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon, and go support them. They put out super good content and very entertaining and a lot of good information. Watch Matt's videos that he does on the different gear and different things like that. I promise you, you'll go buy some of it. Just like I just went and bought a hot water heater today because it's good stuff. Non-biased opinion. Matt does not mind telling you how he feels about certain things. He doesn't mind hurting people's feelings. And so he will tell you like it is, and that way you won't go watch his video and buy some crap. I promise you. He will tell you if it's good, he'll say it's good. If it's not, he'll say it's not. So do you have any new videos coming out that we need to be looking for, Matt?
I mean, there's going to be a whole build series on this. So I'm actually probably going to get started editing tonight, maybe.
You got Big Brutus. Too.
I got this. Yeah, there'll be a video this Saturday, hopefully. And on the whole weekend at Big Brutus and Big Iron Overland Rally. I'm trying to get that out for Saturday. And
he has another fridge review and I think another battery.
Not a fridge review. That'll be less there. If you've watched my channel, you know I've done a crap ton of portable power station, solar generator reviews. That it's gotten kind of ridiculous, honestly.
Very ridiculous.
Anyway, I finally just got, I'm taking a break from the battery reviews, and I just made a general
shootout
power station buyer's guide video.
Yeah.
And I've got to edit that and get that out. That's probably gonna come out next week. But I thought there's just so many batteries. They all actually do great things. And so I just made a general buyer's guide video. Instead of saying, buy this one or buy this one, just tell you the things to look for.
I told him he's becoming a great...
to help make your own decision. He's
becoming a great refrigerator battery salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does help.
Well, Chad blames you for getting him into this lifestyle, and Bats Off-Road says they bought the Boss because of you. And Bats, I feel you. I bought it today.
Yep.
Because of them, and so the reviews are good.
6 months in, I still haven't charged the battery.
And that sold me. That was the one thing, and I'm so glad you said that because that was the one thing that kept me from buying it, because most of the time I hate battery-powered things because they're not good and they don't last. And when you said that you have not charged that again, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. And it was the first time it started going down a little bit.
I actually saw it dipped into the red on the battery meter for the very first time. But then it kicked back up into the yellow. So I don't know if that
Very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, once again, go and like and subscribe, do all the good stuff to make it happen. These guys are out there putting out good content and very entertaining and very informational. And I encourage you to do that. Matt, Cara, thank you for joining me tonight. So cool. And I wish you all the best with your new Gladiator. I know it's going to take you to some amazing, amazing places.
Thank you.
You never know who's going to see what vehicle go to Utah this summer. We don't know because they're still fighting about it.
We should put like some Vegas odds on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to put a bet out there.
Like a poll.
Put it out there to Vegas. Put it out there to Vegas, and people throw their bets out there. What we're going to see in Utah. You never know. But hey, thank y'all again for joining me. I really appreciate it. Join me again Thursday night. We're going to have Jeremiah Oswald from Overland Pioneers on, talking about his new trip that he just went on. Amazing stuff. So anyway, y'all have a great and wonderful week. Thanks again for joining me. I'm the BROfessor, and these are my friends. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.